Restart 4:35. Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, port entry, starboard entry, INEOS Team UK. Will Mother Nature play ball? The conditions have changed, and now it's time to start thinking about gearing up and getting on with it.
Guys have put in some practice time in between the big squall that pushed through, and now we see I wouldn't call this light conditions out there, Nathan. It's still lumpy, really lumpy. Like Shirley reported a while ago, there's waves coming from all directions with this big wind shift right now, which is typical of that situation. And we're going to see the stability on the foils. We're going to get another check-in on boat speeds for heavy air, and off we go.
Well, one thing I know is foiling boats don't like waves, and these teams will be struggling with that. You know, the flight controllers on both boats are going to have their work cut out for them. INEOS Team UK have got Luke Parkinson and Lee McMillan flying their boat, and man, we saw how rock solid they were in the flat water the last couple of days, but they might have a chance to recalibrate from that last race, and the sea state is all over the place, so it's not a job I'd be wanting, that's for sure.
Onto the water with Shirley Robertson in chase one. Update us on the conditions, Shirley.
Well, Stephen, the sun's come out, so be pleased to hear. It's great conditions. I mean, we're near the start area, it's about 16 knots of wind. Obviously, the course has been rotated, and now the top end, the top gate and the top end of the course is actually quite close into the land. So, I mean, I wonder if the teams are getting concerned about the sea state, is whether they get close in to the shelter of the land there, if that might help. It feels to me there's still plenty weather in this day. Both boats have got pretty small jibs, and I think they'll have been talking to their meteorologists and expecting plenty of pressure for the next 30 minutes.
Well, the one thing we did know is that front was going to come through and change it, and all the forecasts had, once this front passed through, it was going to hold in the northwest direction and be pretty solid in the high teens today. So if that front is now through, then this breeze should be here to stay, and I think we're going to have pretty windy, but it's going to be shiftier than what we saw before, because it's starting to come off that land where you can see top marks under the land up there.
Exactly, shifty, and that's when you get passes in what looks like reasonably benign situations. So splits at the top gate become that much more dangerous for the boat ahead. Yeah, this is going to be real action out here again, and can't wait to see it. You know, I bet you Ben Ainsley had a sit down with his team as to talking about what to do in these windy pre-starts. Maybe we see a little bit of different action out of Ben after not quite doing that first start sequence a little while ago very well.
Heading towards the 2-minute and 10-second mark, which will then allow Rossa the port entry into the pre-start area, and in 2 minutes INEOS will be allowed to come in and start the joust.
Hello. Yeah, that's it. Good course. Easy.
Rossa is in.
A little late.
Okay.
Both boats cautious coming into that starting box. We call the starting box. You have to cross over that red line, that starting line, and get down below towards us at the bottom of our screen. That's what we call the starting box. That's where two boats jockey for position. Really trying to screw up your opponent. You know, that's your whole goal in life, is to try to get between you and the opponent and the starting line.
Your wheel, my wheel.
So Ken, besides the obvious of not going out of bounds here for Ben Ainsley, what is his move to win this start?
Where we'll lay line to.
All you're trying to do at this stage is judge whether Jimmy Spithill and Francisco Bruni are late, early, or on time from the start. He's in a dominant position, but he's got to have a good feel for where they are on their timing sequence heading back to the starting line.
Coming up here. Yep.
60 seconds to restart race 2, round robin 2.
Where's
Ainsley picked up a penalty for a boundary penalty the last time
out.
out.
Yep.
Behind again, so he thinks Luna Rossa is early or he just wants the right-hand side. Luna Rossa puts the brakes on just to try to slow down and get him to catch up and get him in a tight spot.
But it's much early this time because he can't push, but I think he's late. I think Francesco Bruni and Jimmy's going to turn back at the right time and make it really difficult for them entering this one.
This course.
Under 30 seconds to start. Listen to the chat on board. This is INEOS.
Coming up a touch. Yep. Needs a touch. Charge. Yeah, we're just on time. Killing maybe one. That'll be right. Okay, got us racing now. Okay. Your wheel. My wheel on the brake. Tacking out of this. Copy. Okay. Your wheel. Go. Going straight. Going straight. Your wheel. Get a feel here. Nice. Stand by tack.
Restart, race 2, Robin 2. Luna Rossa, INEOS Team UK.
You know, Ainsley kind of got out of that a little bit, Nathan, but I'm surprised he hung on. He got a little greedy there for a second. He had a gap off of about one boat length to the right or to the weather of Prada, and all of a sudden, instead of we're going to tack out of this, guys, he tried to hold and actually fell back a length or two before they finally tacked.
Yeah, first time I've seen a bit of indecision from that team. Normally, the last 2 days they make a call, they stick to it. That time they change their mind. They've made the first tack, and this is all going to be about which side of the course is going to be favoured as to who's going to be in front when they come back together.
Yeah, I think we sail to it.
On board Luna Rossa.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Pressure out of this.
Stephen, this is what, when we always refer to the first cross, winning and losing the start is almost irrelevant. It's almost like the clock at the marks. It's almost irrelevant. This is the relevant. This is what start sets up, is the first cross.
How do you read this first cross coming up, Nathan?
Get pressure on here now. Nice.
Let's let them tell us all about it. It looks like Luna Rossa might just cross.
Just cross.
Starboard take advantage to INEOS.
Got a duck at the moment on my eye.
Take in. Early call.
Got a stucking.
Take in. Ducking. Yeah.
My wheel. Your wheel, you can see.
Yeah, he ducked. Clearing transom 2-1 now.
Okay, yeah, we're switched now.
So the real question is this boat speed that took the lead? Because they were behind, you know, they've done 1 and 2 tacks versus 1, or was that a shift? And are they in phase? You know, this wind is shifting left and right out there. Shirley, what do you see on the water? Was that speed or was that pressure?
Injected it in 10 seconds. I think we keep going though. Pressure okay this way, isn't it, Ben?
Well,
yeah, it's hard to see.
As you say, they did one more manoeuvre and they seem pretty keen to get to that right-hand side and to get in phase. It is shifty, the wind is up and down, and remember that it's coming off the land, which is really making it pretty unstable.
It has to be shifty, right? It has to be. It has completely. The breeze has taken a left turn from this morning, coming off the land. It's really an interesting part of these race courses. The boundaries and the narrowness of the course does not allow you sometimes even to spread out and really take full advantage of a shift. But when the boundary comes, you got to tack. And so it looks like they're a nice breeze up on the top of that dark water up there at the top of the screen, Nathan. It doesn't look so bad for the Italians right now.
Looks like they've taken the lead back here, but still a couple more tacks to go. And this is what's so interesting with these races is 1 minute, 1 inch front. And we think, oh, we'll stay in phase, but no, they're just hitting the corners at the moment. They're just bouncing off these boundaries and good chance of a split at the top of the course again.
Still got one of these.
33 knots, 34 knots of both these AC-75, so there's plenty of pump out there.
Shifty though. This is definitely wind shifts out there right now, Shirley. We can really see from the helicopter big dark streaks, and you don't get 2 passes like we've just seen in such a short period of time. Not just passes, but passes with big gaps without a wind shift, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, shift and velocity and pressure. Also, there's a lot of comms on board, so that gives you an indication there's a ton going on the racetrack.
3, 2, 1. A little lighter out of this, guys.
My rake, my drop.
Puff in 2. 1, good puff here.
Starboard tack advantage would be to the boat at the top of the screen, which is INEOS Team UK, but I think the Italian Stephen looked well clear coming into gate number 1.
So looks a little wide out of the mark to me.
More attention, early jibe, guys. Stand by, carry away. 2.
Just like the first start of race number 2, Rossa go around the top gate first, and they will be followed through, but a different mark rounding by INEOS Team UK. Last time it was 11 seconds, this time it's 10 seconds.
So the big question is who is in phase with this wind? Who is sailing less distance? Who's got more breeze? Boats are just splitting the course at the moment. They're not really staying in phase. It's a very different strategy this race that both boats are playing.
And when we talk about staying in phase, for those that are trying to get to grips with sailing in phase is?
Well, as you would know, if you were a golfer, as you would know, puffs come in from both sides of the course. The wind strength changes, but also directional changes. So it's really you're trying to play the two and stay in the most amount of breeze and have that angle working to your advantage to shorten the race course.
42 knots or thereabouts from INEOS Team UK, 40 knots by Rossa, Prada, Pirelli.
Oh, good puff on now.
On board.
A little righty, but still got good pressure. Good pressure up here to windward. Copy.
Numbers.
It still blows me away when they're going 40-ish knots, let's call that 46 miles an hour or 74K amongst friends.
Stand by.
It just calmness, right? You just get used to it.
You just become immune to these kind of speeds. When you do it day in, day out, 40 knots is nothing for these guys. And I could see Jimmy Spittle there driving the boat, looking over his shoulder. Yeah, there's a bit more breeze coming, it's fine. We'll go a little further and jibe again. They're in front, so he's obviously a bit calmer. INEOS jibed on the far side there. I think that this race is starting to get a little bit closer. Shirley, what do you see on the water there?
We are right beside Rossa. It's interesting you say, you kind of get used to it. I was just thinking how stable that boat is, and we haven't said that for a little while. My goodness,
hard to see, mate.
really stable. I mean, it hardly moves the distance between the hull and the water. They actually look quick as well. The race course is kind of in two halves, softer at the top, more wind and more bumpy as we get to the second half.
My guys getting close.
Always going to be a lot more chatter as you're getting close to the gate. You got to decide a whole bunch of different things, and especially which mark on the gate you're going to go around. And that setup is always a huge factor on whether you can stay in phase with the boat behind you, or you're ending up with a big split.
2, 1, or down.
Careful, big waves out of these drives.
As the voice of Jimmy Spittle saying, careful, that means don't fly too high because they don't want to jump out of the back of these waves. So it's chopping up as they get further down the track, exactly what Shirley was saying out there.
17 to the left turn.
Okay. Nice turn. See what he does.
Yeah, copy.
Straight, it's probably quite good.
Yeah, pressure looking better just on
I can.
19.
Looks like we're going to have to split the bottom marks here.
We're winding up.
3, 2, 1,
Rossa, Prada, Pirelli maintain their lead in race 2, round robin 2. It was 10 seconds at the top gate. It's now 7 seconds at the bottom gate. So slight gain by INEOS.
And a split, even more importantly, a split. It's puffy and shifty out there. We saw in that first leg with 2 lead changes. Having a split is a very nervous moment if you're the boat in front.
Little press, just underhead a little.
Just gives
So
the
yeah, we get boundary attack here.
boat behind an opportunity to get by you. If they're following you, it's quite hard to make a pass unless you're quicker. But right now, INEOS heading out to that side. If they get a right-hand shift, or if they get any more breeze, have more breeze than Luna Rossa, they'll have the starboard tack advantage on the way back, and they could make a pass here.
If we go back to that first leg, because we're on leg 3 of 6, that's where Luna Rossa picked up some wind and made a huge gain on that first leg up on the right-hand side.
Well, INEOS doesn't look like they've gotten further behind right now. They actually have a pretty nice angle out there, keeping it close, waiting for Luna Rossa to make that one little mistake, or waiting for that wind shift to help get you by.
Heading towards the halfway mark on race 2.
I think he's across.
Close cross.
He's on port.
Close cross. So gains for the Brits.
He's well across for that shift. Okay, pressure on him.
Balance.
Little shift right at the end there, Nathan.
He's just starting to cross behind now.
Across. The big question is the breeze going to go right or left from here? If the breeze goes to the left as you look up the course, INEOS are going to take an advantage. If the breeze goes to the right, Luna Rossa get the advantage. If it doesn't change, the boats aren't going to change. You'll just stay the same distance
How
ahead.
does it look way
But
past
I'm
on
just
him?
shocked that Luna Rossa aren't covering.
Really, I can't see.
Why they
I'm really
keep
struggling to see
giving these
where he's
opportunities is a bit beyond me. Match racing is all about getting
we
in
just
front of
keep
your
going with this
competitor
right in as much
and
as we
staying
can
between
here.
them and the mark.
Says the speed demon who in Bermuda was the guy splitting the course all the time. How things have changed.
Well, it's way more fun to split it up, and it gives us something to talk about. But if we ever got far enough in front, Percy was always saying
Get
to
the
me,
gate and flannel water this
tackle
way
their
as well.
face.
Copy. Little build here. Yeah, I've got 10 righty there.
So 10 righty,
He's
that's
up on our
Giles
hip,
Scott
going all right.
talking about the
Copy.
actual directional shift of the wind. All these wind instruments on board are helping them keep track of where they are on a
Boundary at
right-hand
45
shift or a
here.
left-hand shift.
Got left here.
So what he really needs is a left-hand shift to get back into this one. Otherwise,
Nice
they're going to
lefty's,
make a bit of a loss
lefty's good
here.
for us here. 28 to boundary. I think we just dig into it so we don't sail straight back into the righty. Yeah, copy. Left on in straight. Okay, left on here. Set up then. 13 seconds, my pitch. Yeah. Okay, ready?
Splitting the breeze right now, Nathan. And
One, more down.
if you're an Italian fan, you're hoping they can get across quickly. This is a real left-hand shift.
My wheel. Header out. Pressure out. 25s.
So now's a great moment if you're Luna Rossa to just tap on their face and sort of lock the race down. If they continue, they just keep giving opportunities.
We may have to duck it. We're okay as
But
we
it's
are.
getting close. I think they're going to not
Right
be
wheel
flying
there.
overhead to tackle them, so I think we're going to see
Coming down
another
a little.
split.
Okay, you've got it back.
That left-hand shift works, and Luna Rossa barely gets across.
Turn. Hard to say again. Better pressure for us coming here though.
I think you need a bit more of a lead
I
than
would say
that
it's
to
better
avoid it.
pressure out to sea the whole
We're
time.
just keeping the race alive and interesting for us.
Very bow up at times.
Heading towards the top gate and the completion of leg 3 of 6 in this second race of round robin 2 after a restart. After the initial race was abandoned at the bottom gate and leg number 4.
I wrecked my trough.
Who has got the advantage coming into this gate?
Well, I tell you what, if INEOS can do it in one from here, one more
Still
take,
good pressure here. Yeah.
good chance they're going to make one again, and that's where the lead change might
10
come.
seconds on the box.
Was a
Check back
left-hand
breeze-wise
shift that
back.
you heard Giles Scott over about a minute and a half ago talk about. Let's sail into this all the way to the boundary. They felt their left shift. They wanted to not sail back out of it. This is a real left shift. If INEOS gets any tick back to the right, they're going to be well ahead of things.
Shirley, what can you see? You're following them up the track.
My edge. My wheel.
There's more pressure out to sea, but yet the odd pop on the left. It's not a straightforward decision anyway.
Going in
Port
three.
starboard coming here, or INEOS have the advantage.
I don't know, mate. Copy, fella. He's tacking underneath. Copy. Give me a split tack, right-hand turn. Copy. Right turn, split. Your wheel all the way through. Go. Board down now. Board down now. Board going down now. Get on the puck, Charlie. Okay.
High pitch, Marco, high pitch.
2, 1, clear.
Yeah,
Clear.
here we go, very wide. Okay, slow the turn here. It's going to go wide here. Okay. Nice.
Finally, you can't talk about that stopwatch in the lower right-hand corner. Finally. We haven't seen a dead heat in a while, but Stephen, it's hard to make Stephen McIver speechless. And frankly, that just did, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a split again, though.
Even Stevens.
Holy smokes, another split. Listen, that was all about wind shifts. This is so good for the sport. These are two even boats, Nathan. These are two even boats that a wind shift is actually counting for everything out there in the race course.
So we're going to race, but our apologies too for some colourful language coming up on Rossa. But this is a race and a half. No gap at the top gate. It was 7 seconds to Rossa at the bottom gate. The top gate, leg 3, nothing, even.
But look at this, that shift looks like it's gone left, and looks like INEOS are going to make the cross here. But what I was impressed about there was their tack, their bear-away execution. That is not an easy manoeuvre to do. Coming in at full speed, dropping the foil, turning around, coming back where you came from. We saw teams struggling to do that a couple of days ago. Pulling off manoeuvres when it counts is what takes the lead here. Now let's see what Giles Scott does and how he can shut this race down and give them more opportunities.
Back wave coming. Yep, nice work, boys. Especially going back in 10. So that's us just on intersection. He will not get to that right turn in 1. Okay, stand by. Got some pitch. Your pitch.
We talked in the pre-start about Giles Scott being freed up to be a real full-time tactician. This race is showing me that that is exactly the case. He's a full-time tactician.
Yeah, he doesn't have to fly the boat or drive the boat. He's eyes out of the boat. And watch him start to play match racing tactics that maybe Jimmy and Bruni can't do because they're always focused on flying the boat.
I agree.
Nice there. Sorry, I should have given you the pressure inside there. It was slightly better. Copy. Okay, no learn that then. He jives, he's going to do left turn.
Yep. Come up, boys.
Nothing at the top gate to complete leg 3 as we approach the bottom gate. Shirley, what do you make of this race?
Auto lap, 40.
There's so much going on the race course. I mean, it's so strong to have a dedicated tactician painting the picture the entire time. And we're not hearing those comps coming off Prada. Whatever boat you're sailing, but especially if you're doing 38 knots down here, it's so crucial to have that kind of eyes out the boat.
Okay, going forward. Nice there. High pitch. Nice. Over we go, one of them left. I don't love the 2 board roundups in this shop either, but happy either way. Copy. 38.
You know, it's really interesting. All these race courses have been influenced by land, and that means it's going to inherently be shiftier out on the water. And that lends itself. Now, if this is a flat-out, come off the ocean, non-shifty breeze, then the Giles Scotts of the world are taken out of it a little bit. Not in this case.
And when you're in Auckland, there is plenty of land on every course, and it's all about sailing smart. And, you know, I said earlier, it's a speed race. I think I'm wrong. I think it's a tactician.
Okay,
we're in. 2, 1. And up. Yep.
INEOS Team UK rounding the bottom gate to complete 4 legs of 6, and it is an official lead change. They were behind 10 seconds at the first, 7 at the second, nothing at the third, and now they are building a lead on Rossa.
2, 1, running up.
Good.
26 seconds the gap from INEOS to Rossa. Gotta love that clock.
So once again we have a split. Boats go different marks, but this is a pretty substantial lead.
1 more down.
And they're going to tack right on the boundary here. I was shocked. I thought Giles Scott might attack earlier to get in phase, so on the next tap they can attack right on their face. But maybe he's seen pressure on the left that we in the commentary box can't see.
Working up a couple.
Stand by, guys. 3, 2, 1, power down.
On the breeze, then. Yep.
This is a big
Nice
cross in this.
We are clear
in this
across.
race.
Okay, little speed build there. Nice. Yeah.
Breeze is just holding it this left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fading a little bit.
The question is
one
that
pressure
looks
man on
like
the bow. How
quite a
far across
substantial
the way?
lead.
We're about 30 lengths across.
Do they go past or do they tack on their face?
Yeah.
Gotta just tack on him.
Yeah, I think we go in 20 or so here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Set up. Crossing.
Yeah, anytime here.
2, 1, board down. Turn it. Again, board. My hitch.
I will.
Yeah, getting lighter here, guys. Nice. Okay.
Stand by. Commentary from off these boats is priceless. You can just hear, again, for all you sailors back at home, what a conversation between a tactician and a helmsman should sound like.
Going on.
How's pressure, we think, this way, Ben?
Yeah, it's okay. I don't think we want to go too far. Looks like there's pressure in about 20.
Copy. We'll use that. He's back on port now.
Big
Okay,
left
we'll
here.
give a tiny bit here. Yeah. Up on the bow. A bit of pressure now.
Better pressure this way, isn't it? Just going right.
2,
Hit breeze
1,
here.
off on now.
It's that balance
Nothing
between
exceptional
sailing
right
your
early.
opponent and sailing the breeze and trying to work out
Yeah,
which
you're
way you
fine.
want.
But remember, in all the
Right
previous
for us.
racing,
Yeah, okay,
in the
setting up,
Christmas
set up.
series,
Crossing.
Ainsley could never
pitch.
look around because he was
32,
always
one,
fighting
board
the
down.
boat. Here he is actually looking around the race course right
Okay,
now, and the
turning.
boat's kind of sailing itself a little bit. I mean, if you get the boat going 40
we're
knots,
top
it can never
there.
sail itself. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. When the boat is in its groove and you've got the guys flying the boat at the correct height, the trimmers are trimming the sails spot on for you. The rudder gets light and the boat kind of just tracks and goes where it wants to go. So now Ben can help Giles
Good pressure inside there.
about where we want to go, and if they've got good speed,
Probably
they're
wanted
in
it
good
right
shape.
there.
But
Got more build in this next pressure.
this angle, he looks like Lunaros aren't going away.
Easy, trimmers on, boys.
On your kid. Yeah, it'll come.
He's got a marginal one and in right turn.
No more than that. Build, guys. How far ahead are we?
Good lead, and now what
20
the
lengths.
tacticians are doing is talking about that
just
race
trying to set
course
up the mountain.
geometry.
Yeah,
Which side do they want to
Just trying to
escape
press
this
it.
top gate towards? Where do they
Yeah,
think the
he's-
pressure is?
I think he's going to have to go. He'll be lucky to get the right turn from there, I think.
Big lefty here for us at the moment.
I think he might get that.
Okay, stand by here. Crossing.
Might hit.
Oh, what do you think?
Big lefty is a left-hand
That's when we
shift
follow it
out
back.
of the race
We
course.
Okay, 2, 1,
Breeze
board
has
down.
gone to the left. They like it, but they're not going to give that other boat. They're not going to let that other boat out of their sights. Even though they're in a left-hand shift, Stephen, in a typical world, they would have continued because eventually, hopefully it goes back to the right. They just want to keep control of their competitor right now. This is absolutely a match racing decision and not a wind shift
Go ahead.
decision.
Good pressure.
Yeah. Can get on Giles up well.
Similar
Yeah,
speeds by both
I think we
teams.
go
They head
how does the
towards
pressure look on
the top
the
gate for
right
the last
turn,
time
Yeah, good.
in race 2 round robin 2.
we just go for that from here, right?
Team
Pressure,
UK
yeah,
after
pressure's good. It's just the
being 10
left shift
seconds
at the moment.
behind
Copy. Yeah,
are
late
now
line.
in front,
13 away.
and we'll
Just
check
be
on
sure of
the
this.
margin as they go around the top gate for the
right
final
turn, 30
time.
metres.
Yeah, we've got to hook up into that pressure.
Copy.
Let's get a bit further.
Yeah, pitch Charles. Yeah, yours. Lay line in 4.
Yeah, it's setting up then. Crossing. Good pressure out of
I
this.
think this is a lefty, but let's be sure of it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hey, Charles. Yeah, mine.
Okay. 2, 1, board down. A bit slow here.
Good.
Okay, back out of this a bit. Okay, that's course.
My wheel.
Slightly overstood.
Yeah.
Fine.
Stop it in fat here.
Okay, bang on.
So when they say overstood, that means they've gone a little bit too far with the ley line, but I think they wanted to make sure they went a little bit
Big
further,
gate.
get that pressure
Fortunately.
coming to the market, avoid that
Still
tack.
across, right?
But in doing so, they've actually given Lunaros a chance to
Bias
get a few
on the
metres
right
back
turn
on
here.
here. It's all about who's going to
we
have the
use
best
that.
pressure out of this top half.
Use that right to ease in. We'll go
Little comeback by the Italians. This race is not over. This is a one-mistake race right now, Stephen.
2, 1.
INEOS Team UK around the top gate for the final time. Their advantage at the last gate was some 26 seconds.
2, 3, 1,
That lead has been cut. 12 seconds now. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli are not going away.
That's nice.
Boundary in 15.
There's angle, copy.
Yeah.
Scary moment for the Brits. Complete split on the race course right now. And honestly, a great moment for the Italians. At this stage, you've got to take a little chance. Although it looks like they're sailing into pressure right in front of them.
My wheel.
Okay, building.
Check out the powerhouses going there. These guys have only got the 6 grinders, remember,
Hold the angle, Giles. Got
so
it.
that they can have
Okay,
more
that's
people
good.
dedicated to flying and trimming the boat to free up Giles Scott to make these decisions. So I bet you they're happy they've only got one race today, those 6 grinders.
You can imagine the grinder saying, yeah, thanks for that, Ben.
Yeah, we don't have to tack on them, don't worry. Can we just stretch it out to the other side of the race course? Nice gain by INEOS. They choose the gate at the top mark correctly, apparently at this stage, and pop out to a little bit bigger lead.
Pressure looks all right here. Average heading.
Copy. I don't think he'll get one and in to finish there.
Take a
So
little
hour
coming down here on
section.
the water,
pressure.
is there an opportunity here, wind-wise, for Luna Rossa to get back into this one?
At least.
Oh. Nathan, I mean, to me, INEOS now looks like they're on the right jibe. There's quite a lot of pressure coming from the left-hand side of the track. They look in the best spot. I think also, when we're talking about INEOS, only having 6 grinders allows them to have 2 pilots, Luke Parkinson and Lee McMillan. So, you know, they're stable all the time. Whatever's going on, they've got, you know, 2 guys working on it. And in a day like today, it's a massive bonus.
Michelle, that's a good point, particularly in these waves, having dedicated flight controllers. You know, it's a big deal, and I'm just impressed with how they turned this around. That race that got abandoned on the back foot, and they got back into this after trailing on the first lap.
Lost both starts today, and still have a nice little lead, but again, it's a one-mistake lead. You splash down and get caught off your foils, and you get out of phase here badly, and things could get close very quickly. They're running out of time on the Italian boat. They are running out of time.
Splashdown by Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli coming home. Not what they wanted. As you can see, INEOS Team UK setting up for the final jibe for the finish.
Finish line.
Let's go easy on the turn right on these couple of drives.
Yeah, copy. One more jibe to go here, boys.
Yeah.
Further here.
Okay, set up.
Happy?
Crossing. Happy? Ready? Happy?
Yes.
2, 1 board down. Turning. Nice and smooth. Nice. Okay, going board.
Good that. My wheel.
My pitch.
Good switch. Okay, building here. This is course. Copy.
Right down a touch.
One in, Stephen. Looks easy now. Take her home.
Okay, a bit 2 more turn up.
So after a restart and a reset, it's turned into a peach
Okay,
for
awesome hustle,
INEOS
guys.
Team UK. They go 4-0 in the Prada Cup Challenger Series.
Okay, turning up. Nice work, gents. Really good work, guys. Come on.
Awesome effort there.
And in come Luna Rossa. 18 seconds the margin. And now they have to rethink because they've got another race to come. But boy, oh boy, INEOS 4-0.
3 passes in that race. As a fan of sailing, that's all you can ask for. Blowout victories are no fun to talk about in the booth, Nathan, or no fun to really watch, no matter how fast the boats are. This is boat racing. These boats have all gotten really close in speed, and a 3-pass race is reasonably rare and a lot of fun.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was a huge speed difference between those 2 boats. It came down to who was picking those shifts, executing the manoeuvres, and hats off to Giles Scott, Ben Ainsley, and the whole crew for pegging that one back.